Hello! I wanted to give you a little visual itinerary of our trip to Middle-earth, also known as New Zealand. This course is on the psychology and religion of the Lord of the Rings series, but we're also going to be going through an awful lot of the natural wonders, not just where it was filmed, but also why this place of New Zealand fits so well as a wonderful way of representing the ideas represented in the stories. To gauge the distance here, starting at Charlotte, we're going to fly to Denver, Colorado, where we will change planes to San Francisco. From San Francisco, we'll catch a flight that takes us all the way down to Auckland. We cross the international date line, so we lose the entire day of the 5th of January, so it will already be January 6th when we arrive in Auckland. To show you the entire country, we will fly into Auckland, but very quick version of this. We'll go from Auckland to Rotorua, from Rotorua to Napier, Napier down to Wellington, across to the South Island in Nelson. Then we'll go to the Franz Josef Glacier, down to Queenstown and over to the Milford Sound, and then back to Auckland. So let's break this down into detail. First, starting in Auckland. In the city center, we'll be going through and spending at least the 6th and 7th just recovering, seeing the city itself. We'll be staying in YHA for a lot of this trip. YHA is a hostel company, so it's hotels designed for people who are backpackers or groups like this. Quite often we'll be staying in dormitory rooms, but we have the entire room to ourselves for the group. So men in one room, women in another. Not to worry at all. As I mentioned, we'll be arriving on Friday the 6th, spending all of Saturday, and then we will depart on the Sunday. We will be departing from Auckland early. We'll go through and we will come down the main road on our way to Rotorua. Once we're to Rotorua, we will be checking in to a hotel there that's also a YHA. Now, YHAs are wonderful for a lot of reasons, including that they have kitchen facilities, so that there are several times where we will be able to relax and we will be able to cook together and sometimes make new friends. Now, on the Sunday night, we are in flux right now whether we have reservations or not for the Maori feast. If we have the Maori feast Sunday, that'll give us a little more time on Monday. But if not, we will be going to the Hobbiton movie set where they filmed The Lord of the Rings, The Shire, and we're going to depart at 1 p.m., get back at 6. If we don't have the Sunday feast schedule for the Maori feast, we will then have that on that night starting at 7 o'clock. The good news is it's basically right across the street from the hotel for that village, so it would only take us a few minutes without much worry at all. From Rotorua, we'll go down to Napier, which is on the east coast of the North Island. So Rotorua down to Napier. In Napier, we will be en route, get there nice and early in the afternoon so that we can really enjoy some of the beach. Napier has a famous beach that people enjoy quite a bit, and we'll be staying almost on the beach at a place called Toad Hall. It's a backpackers hotel similar to the YHA, and there are some wonderful fish markets in that area as well. So whether we eat out or we eat in their accommodation, either way, they provide a very nice breakfast from all accounts as well. That's included. From Napier, we'll travel all the way down, starting early in the afternoon, and we'll arrive at Wellington that evening. Now, Wellington is a good long way away, so we will be down there in Wellington. Wellington is the center of the country. It is their capital. We're going to go through the Parliament there, and we'll visit the other Erskine College, a beautiful set of old buildings that was a college there a long time ago but has closed. We'll be spending all day on Thursday there so that we can actually see the town. Again, try and relax from these long trips across this very large country. Then we'll take a ferry across to the South Island, to the town of Nelson. Now, Nelson, we will have the ferry and we will have the bus that gets us across there with a stop at Picton. In Nelson, we'll be staying again at a YHA, which is right there at Christchurch. Our next day, we will be going from that Sunday morning, and we'll be going down to Franz Josef. Now, Franz Josef is also a great distance away, so this is going to be one of the longest single segments. We'll be leaving at 7:15 in the morning and not arriving until 5:04 p.m. The unfortunate thing for us is that they only had accommodation for one night at any of the hotels there. They were all booked up at almost every hotel, so we'll be able to see the glaciers but not climb the glaciers the extent that we had wanted there. We will be in the midst of a lot of national parks with amazing views, and we will be driving through those glaciers. So we'll get to see a lot, just won't be on the ice quite as much. The next morning we'll depart on our way down to Queenstown. Do remember that these trips 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. because it might look very small, but this is an enormous country. We'll get to Queenstown, which I want you to see in a larger view, because the next day we'll be going to the Milford Sound, and it is a remarkable and beautiful place. So we'll be staying at a hotel called the Reaver's Lodge, which has beautiful views of the entire city of Queenstown. It is in a nice, safe area, and we'll be able to get there very easily to and from the bus stations. Now, the Milford Sound trip will be going up, and we're trying to figure out whether we'll be taking a cruise or a kayaking tour of the Sound. At that point in the trip, we're probably going to be quite tired, so we don't want to be too tired, though. Milford Sound is an amazingly beautiful place that people paddle on all the time. There's a lot of wildlife that you can see there. Then the next day will be Wednesday the 18th, which we will depart from Queenstown, go to Auckland. It's an early flight, so we'll leave at 1 p.m., get in around 3. We'll then have time for some duty-free shopping, relaxation, catching up on our writing before we fly to Houston, and from Houston we'll go ahead and fly to Charlotte. We are hoping that the Fleeter can pick us up and that we'll be able to drive straight back to due west from Charlotte in the van, so that those who don't live in or around Charlotte would have a way to get back easily. I hope that this gives you some assurances of what we're doing, where we're staying, so that you know that your family is in good hands. I'm looking forward to this trip. I hope you are too. Thanks.